It happened on an ordinary Tuesday. The kind where the halls of Jefferson High echoed with locker slams, teenage chatter, and the occasional burst of laughter. But nobody expected what was about to unfold that day, especially not Sarah Bennett. Sarah wasn't your typical cheerleader. Sure, she wore the uniform, had the high ponytail, and could nail a backflip like nobody's business. But she was also fierce, grounded, and quiet, the kind of girl who didn't chase attention but somehow always commanded it. She had a story, one carved out of hardship and determination, one most people didn't bother to learn. After her dad left when she was 12, and her mom worked 2 jobs just to keep the lights on, Sarah learned not to complain. Instead, she trained. Every morning before school and every evening after practice, she worked on her martial arts, a passion passed down from her grandfather, a retired taekwondo instructor who raised her when her mom couldn't be there. She never flaunted her skills. In fact, almost no one knew about them. She just trained to be strong, for herself, and for the day when she'd need to be. That day came without warning. It started with whispers. It always does. Did you see what she posted last night? Thinks she's better than everyone. Too good to hang out with us. The voices belonged to the usual suspects: Bryce, the football team's golden boy with a mean streak, Megan and Tasha, 2 girls who fed on drama like oxygen, and a few others who clung to them like shadows. They didn't like Sarah, not because she had done anything wrong, but because she dared to shine without their approval. What none of them knew was that Sarah had turned down Bryce's invitation to the winter dance a few days before. She did it politely, but to someone like Bryce, no wasn't just rejection, it was humiliation. And humiliation demands revenge. The plan was cruel. At the end of second period, while the halls were buzzing with students switching classes, Bryce and his gang cornered Sarah by the lockers. She saw them coming but didn't flinch. "Hey, cheer princess," Bryce said with a smirk, "aren't you forgetting how this school works? You don't get to say no to me." Sarah narrowed her eyes. "I don't owe you anything, Bryce." The hall began to quiet. Phones were already out. Some kids smirked. Others, uncertain, stood frozen. Then Bryce grabbed her jacket. The green cheer jacket, the one her mom saved up for over months, was suddenly in his hands. Before she could fully react, he yanked it hard, tearing it halfway open. Gasps echoed. Megan laughed cruelly. Phones caught every second. It was meant to shame her. It was meant to reduce her to nothing more than a victim of a high school power play. But Sarah was not built to break. In one fluid motion, one she'd practiced 1,000 times in silence, she stepped back, planted her foot, and unleashed a roundhouse kick so swift and precise it caught Bryce squarely in the side of his face. The impact was thunderous. His phone flew. He crashed to the ground. The crowd erupted, not with laughter or mockery, but stunned silence. Everyone saw it. Not just the kick. But her. The way she stood, calm, dignified, unshaken. The girl they thought was just a cheerleader now stood like a warrior. Bryce groaned on the floor, his pride shattered far more than his jawline. Tasha backed away. Megan stopped recording. And one by one, the crowd around her parted, unsure what to do or say. A teacher rushed in seconds later. Sarah didn't run. She didn't cry. She just stood there, holding the remnants of her jacket in one hand, and the truth in the other. That was the moment the tide turned. The aftermath was messy, as it always is. The school launched an investigation. Videos surfaced online. Parents got involved. Bryce was suspended, and the administration was forced to reckon with what they'd long ignored, the culture of bullying that had gone unchecked. Sarah could have chosen silence. She could have said nothing and let the moment pass. But she spoke. Not out of vengeance, but out of courage. She shared her story about what it's like to be targeted for simply having boundaries. About the pressure girls face to smile and say yes. About how strength doesn't always look like fists and fury, but sometimes it does when it needs to. Her story spread. First across the school, then beyond. A local journalist covered it. Other students, kids who'd hidden in the shadows, began coming forward with their own experiences. the culture began to change. Slowly. But it